Sup world, Jason here. Today I want to make a video on how to improve your squat. Recently I made a couple home workout videos, both of which included bodyweight squats. I feel like I should explain the process of finding your proper squat stance, form, and progression a bit better. Squats are one of the most basic and fundamental movements of the human body and is something many people struggle with today. Improving your squat can ease many activities of daily living and reduce the risk of slip and falls, all by building muscle. These are just a few reasons why I think almost everyone should be working on their squat. Squats can be very difficult for many people, so I want to show you what I think is the most effective process for improving your squat. Step one, find your stance. So many people prefer more of a narrow stance. Many people prefer more of a wide stance. Most people prefer their toes pointed out to some degree. Most people prefer their heels elevated to some degree. You'll have to practice around with it to find just how wide of a stance and just how elevated of a heel works best for you. I made this here wedge with a moving box and some cardboard. I recommend most people use books to begin with. That seems to be the easiest. So what works best for me to go to full depth and just where I'm at in the process is a very narrow stance with my heels fairly significantly elevated and toes pointed outwards fairly significantly. So after you think you found what your starting squat stance will be, it will probably change many times. Mine has many times over the years. You will want to practice squat depth to find a depth that is challenging but not too challenging, something you think that you are able to do 8 times for your working set. This is of course after a proper warm-up, which I will explain better in just a second. But to do this, you want to use your books or your wedge, whatever you got, and you typically want to start against a wall, so in case you lose your balance, you can fall against the wall. Then you will move on to what's known as a box squat. Box squat essentially utilizes anything you could sit on as a regulation for squat depth, as well as a safety mechanism. We'll start with this. So you find your stance, make sure you're square to your box, make sure everything is lined up properly, make sure you find your proper stance. Then you want to start practicing proper squats. So to practice a proper squat, you want to take a deep breath in, brace your core, open your hips, pop your butt back a little bit, sit into the squat. You want your back to maintain basically the same position the whole way, utilizing only your hip and your knee to do the movement essentially. I like to put my hands out in front of me for balance. I prefer a little higher heel elevation. I'm working on another wedge, but once that's complete, it might change my squat stance a little bit. But deep breath in, brace the core, open the hips, pop the butt, sit into the squat. Once you touch, up. Up. Then as you progress, you can lower your box. You can find a new box, whatever you have to do to progress. These adjustable height wheelie chairs seem to be perfect. So as you progress down a bit, you'll move to your next box. Progress down. You can use a Sharpie and mark the chair so that you don't lose your elevation as you progress. Until you were able to do an unassisted bodyweight squat to full depth. Then you can start adding weight, but that is for another video. So, as far as progression goes, when it comes to planning workouts, rep, set schemes, intensity, volume, I recommend basically the same thing for every person. And that is to start with workouts of 1 working set per week to begin with. It is very easy to overdo it on the squats, blow your legs out. You won't be able to walk straight, you won't be able to use the bathroom right. You'll be miserable for a week, and we don't want that. We want you squatting multiple times a week indefinitely. So this is basically what everybody's starting workout should look like for the squat. 10-minute warm-up walk. 3 to 4 warm-up sets of the squat at the depth you're going to be doing your working sets at. I think everyone should do their warm-ups at the same depth of their working sets, because this is how you practice the movement. This is how you get better at the movement. It will help with mind-muscle connection, muscle memory, all that. So I think that's very important. But that means you have to lower your reps dramatically for your warm-ups, because you never want to warm up to be fatiguing. So what I recommend, your warm-up set should literally be 1 rep, then 2 reps, then 3 reps, then 4 reps. And then your working set should be what you can do, the depth you can do for about 8 reps. I think everyone should start around 8 reps. That way you can progress your way up to 12 to 15 reps. Once you reach that goal, you can then lower your squat depth, increasing the resistance to a level that you think you can do about 8 reps at. Then you can progress your way back up in reps. Then you can lower your squat depth again and do that cyclically until you are doing unassisted bodyweight squats. Then do that cyclically until you are adding weight, if that's what you want to do and you are capable of. And go from there. Then you should also always do a 5 to 10 minute cool down walk after squatting. And if you want to do some light stretching, light to moderate stretching after the workout is the time to do that. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.